Hello, everyone. I'm Vincent Donadio, and welcome to the VD Sports Network. Today, we're going to be discussing the top 100 most watched events of 2024. Let's dive right into it. So, we're going to start with number 100, Tracker, Season 2, Episode 8, The Night Movers on CBS. I mean, I've never really seen Trackers, but as you'll see once we go up this list, it's really taken a lot of spots, especially because most of this list, as you'll see, is a lot of sports. So to see this show so high up is definitely interesting, I guess. But let's move on to number 99, which is 60 Minutes, Season 57, Episode 10. The Promise, Aussiewood, Bruton, CBS. I mean, I don't watch 60 Minutes either. It kind of scares me, to be honest. But, I mean, there's definitely a group of people out there that love to watch that type of show. And, I mean, that's good for them, but that's not me. Anyway, on to number 98, we have Fox News Democracy, election night. That's, of course, when President Trump beat Kamala Harris in the presidential election. It was definitely interesting, definitely a night that a lot of people are going to have their eyes on, a night I always find fun every 4 years because I love to watch the results trickle in. Obviously, there's a group of people that were happy with that result on November 5th and a group that weren't, but hey, we'll see how this country goes the next 4 years. Next at number 97, we have the Summer Olympics, Saturday Prime 1. I mean, I haven't really watched Summer Olympics, but you'll see that a couple times throughout this list. It's definitely a big event. Olympics, all the world going against each other. That was, of course, the return of Simone Biles in gymnastics. One of the greatest to ever do it in that sport. But anyway, let's move on to number 96. The first of it we'll definitely see a lot in this video. Football. Surprise, surprise. We have Monday Night Football between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, anytime Patrick Mahomes is on television, it's definitely going to be watched. A rematch of the 2021 Super Bowl when, of course, Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes squared off, game won by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa. This game happened to be in Kansas City on November 4th. Of course, Tom Brady not with the Bucs anymore. Baker Mayfield commanding center for the Bucs. But the Bucs, they went into Arrowhead and lost 30-24 in overtime. So a pretty good game for Joe Buck and crew over on ESPN for their Monday night schedule. And the Chiefs are always going to be watched. Of course, they're going for the three-peat next weekend. Anyway, on to number 95. Another episode of 60 Minutes. This is the episode where they were targeting American Indian Relay. Once again, I don't really watch 60 Minutes, so I wouldn't really know or have an opinion on the episode, but if you have, let me know. Anyway, on to number 94, another episode of Tracker. CBS really hit big with Tracker. One of the only shows that isn't a sporting event that really up there and commanding this top 100. So I'm sure CBS and crew is very happy with the success. On to number 93 is Game 3 of the 2024 NBA Finals between Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics and Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks. Of course, NBA Finals always going to be a very watched event. And the Celtics, one of the bigger teams in the NBA, and Luka Doncic as well. You got two superstars, and people are willing to watch. 1 second. Of course, they were trying to get the score here so I could let you know what happened. It was a finals that was won by the Boston Celtics 4-1. Game 3, Boston went into the American Airlines Center in Dallas and was able to get an 106-99 win. You see here for Dallas, the former Boston Celtic, Kyrie Irving put up 35 in that game. On to number 92, also happens to be from that same NBA Finals. It was Game 1. That game was at the TD Garden in Boston. 107-89 win for the Boston Celtics. So again, the Celtics really dominated that NBA Finals. They went on to win. Sure, Celtics looking for a repeat this year. Mavs looking to get back maybe and win. We've seen that a couple times in recent years. We'll go up to number 91. Another episode of 60 Minutes. This one was the prosecution of January 6th. We know that was a big thing in this country. Danger in the South China Sea, and Dua Lipa was also involved in that episode. Same, I never watched 60 Minutes, so not much to say. On to number 90 through 88, all episodes of Tracker again. We mentioned Tracker earlier. It's just very popular. A lot of people, I guess, like to watch that show. Number 90, Season 1, Episode 12, Off the Books. Number 89, Season 1, Episode 8, Camden. And 88, Season 1, Episode 11, Behind the Campus Walls. Seeing how popular the show is, maybe I'll watch Tracker and see what the hype is. Anyway, we're moving on to number 87, Monday Night Football, to start the NFL season this past season between the San Francisco 49ers, who were just in the Super Bowl, were supposed to possibly go back, but injuries really held them back. They didn't have quite the season they wanted to. They're still running back. Christian McCaffrey was hurt most of the year, which really derailed the 49ers. Nick Bosa was out for a while. George Kittle, their Pro Bowl tight end, was out a while. Of course, they hosted Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets. Another team that disappointed mightily, just like the 49ers were supposed to be in the Super Bowl, weren't able to get the job done. But the Jets, hoping, they just recently hired a new coach, Aaron Glenn, and a new general manager, so they're hoping that they could be better next year, maybe go to the Super Bowl like they expect to. The final of that score was 32-19 in favor of the 49ers. I mean, the 49ers went 6-11, and the Jets went 5-12. Just two teams that were supposed to be bona fide Super Bowl contenders just couldn't get it done. So we'll see next season if they could figure it out and get going again. But anyway, we'll see what happens there. On to number 86. We go back to the Summer Olympics. So again, didn't really watch it. This was the Friday Prime Week 2. I mean, people love the Olympics. Not much I could say there. Now we move on. 85 through 81. Surprise, surprise. All episodes of Tracker again. We got Season 1, Episode 5, St. Louis at number 85. Season 1, Episode 10, Into the Wild at number 83. St. Louis was number 84. The Storm was episode 85. Then number 82 is Season 1, Episode 9, Aura. And then Season 2, Episode 4, Noble Rot. Interesting. Next we got a new entry, Young Sheldon. The episode Funeral, Season 7, Episode 13. Never really watched Young Sheldon, but of course it's a spinoff of The Big Bang Theory. So the Big Bang Theory fans are going to be big on that, definitely interested. So, yeah, that should do well. Then we go to Football Night in America. Of course, that is the pregame for Sunday Night Football on NBC. One of the people love their football on Sunday night, me personally as well. Try to watch every Sunday night game, so not really a surprise to me to see Football Night in America there. On to 78. We're back to the Summer Olympics. Summer Olympics, of course, were in Paris. Big event. This was the Saturday Prime Week 2 event. On to 77 through 75. Once again, all Tracker episodes. Season 2, Episode 1, Out of the Past, in at number 77. Season 2, Episode 7, Man's Best Friend, in at number 76. And Season 2, Episode 3, Bloodlines, at number 75. Next, we go to the game on Halloween night. Thursday Night Football between the New York Jets and Houston Texans. It's honestly one of the best the Jets have looked this year. Game, of course, was at MetLife Stadium, not necessarily far from where we reside in our school. Jets able to win, actually look like the team they were supposed to look like that game. Tracker in again at number 73, Season 2, Episode 6, Trust Fall. Then we're back to the Summer Olympics at number 72, Thursday Prime Week 2. Scoot on up to number 71, Young Sheldon returns. CBS really did pretty well from themselves in the year 2024. This was Season 7, Episode 14, Memoir. And we go to another CBS show. Back to 60 Minutes we go. The Season 57, Episode 7, Deportation, Sanctions, and Surfmen. Then back to Tracker. Surprise, surprise, they're all over this list at number 69. Season 2, Episode 5, Preternatural. Then we scoot up to number 68, The OT on Fox. Of course, that's what's on after the slate of games on Fox right before Animation Domination goes on the air. Recap of the NFL day before Sunday Night Football. Then we scoot on up to the Saturday Night Special, ABC, Houston, and Indianapolis. That was early in the year. The two teams were competing for the AFC South crown, trying to get into the playoffs. That was ultimately won by the Houston Texans in Indianapolis. C.J. Stroud is a stud. Now we scoot on up to Monday Night Football between the Miami Dolphins and the LA Rams. I mean, LA is obviously a huge market. Miami Dolphins, they're a good team with Tyreek. A little bit of controversy there. Jalen Waddle and Tua. So, Dolphins, another team like we mentioned with the Jets and 49ers earlier, didn't quite have the season that they would like. The Dolphins have to find a way to keep Tua Tagovailoa, their young quarterback, healthy. Move back up to the Summer Olympics at 65, Prime Week 2. 64, we return to the NBA Finals, Game 5. That was the game that the Boston Celtics were able to win the NBA Finals, 106-88. And we scoot on up to number 63, Game 2 of the NBA Finals. That was a win for the Boston Celtics as well, 105-98. And then we're going to scoot on up to number, and that was 63. We'll scoot on up to number 62, Thursday Night Football, the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Division rivalry, two teams that came down to the last day of the season to fight for the NFC South crown. Of course, it was won by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who went on to get eliminated by the Washington Commanders on Sunday Night Football in the wild card round. Then we'll scoot on up to number 61, the NFL postgame on CBS. Similar to what we talked about for the OT on Fox, just after the slate of CBS games, people tune in, watch, see what happened for the day. Scoot on up to Thursday Night Football, the Rams and the Minnesota Vikings. Big win for the Rams. Obviously, they went on later in the season in the playoffs, beat the Vikings by a lot again. Back to the Summer Olympics we go, Tuesday Prime Week 2. Then we go to a bit of a sore topic for me because I'm a diehard New York Yankees fan. World Series Game 3, when the Dodgers were in the Bronx to take on the Yankees. Fortunately, a game the Dodgers won. Scoot on up to Monday Night Football, number 57, between the Buffalo Bills and Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, Buffalo, Josh Allen, obviously they're one of the bigger teams in the AFC and the NFL. Expected Super Bowl contenders every year. Jacksonville, kind of disappointment. They have Trevor Lawrence, of course. Monday Night Football is always going to be a big watch. Scoot on up to Thursday Night Football at number 56, the 49ers and the Seahawks, up in the Pacific Northwest. Division rivalry, obviously big interest there. We'll go to number 55. We got a couple straight Summer Olympics here. This is the Summer Olympics Thursday Prime Week 2. Then we got number 54, the Summer Olympics Wednesday Prime Week 2. And then number 53, the Summer Olympics Friday Prime Week 1. Not much to say. People love their Olympics and repping their country. Number 52, Thursday Night Football, Jets and Patriots. Another division rivalry game, one of the games the Jets were able to win this year. Back to the Summer Olympics, we go at number 51, the Wednesday Prime Week 1. Back to that sore subject of the World Series again, Game 2. Dodgers and the Yankees from Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. Another win for the Dodgers in that game. Summer Olympics return. for number 49, Saturday Prime Week 1. Then 48 back to Monday Night Football we go. The Atlanta Falcons and the Philadelphia Eagles. Interesting game. Number 47, a game I personally watched. Big division rivalry game. Thursday Night Football, the Ravens and the Bengals. Obviously, big game. You got the AFC North's probably the best division in football. When you got two of the teams here, of course, you got the Lamar and the Baltimore Ravens, Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. Two teams that aren't just going to be competing for a division trophy, but obviously AFC trophies have to find a way to get past Mahomes and the Chiefs first. And speaking of the AFC North, we go up to Thursday Night Football again. The two other teams, the Cleveland Browns, big disappointment this year, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Everybody talks about the Ravens and the Bengals, but the Pittsburgh Steelers showed this year they could hang in the mix, have TJ Watt, big game, Myles Garrett over in Cleveland. And we scoot on over to the women's NCAA basketball at 45, South Carolina versus Iowa. Don't really watch that, so not much to say there. 44, heartbreaking game for me as a New York Yankees fan. World Series Game 1. Dodgers and the Yankees from Dodger Stadium. Yankees were out away from victory, but then Aaron Boone decided to bring in Nestor Cortez over Tim Hill. A decision me and many other Yankee fans will be talking about forever. Never forget, obviously, the big walk-off grand slam by Freddie Freeman. Hurts every time to see it. But hey, Gibby met Freddie. The Summer Olympics is back for the next two. At number 43, the Summer Olympics, Saturday Prime Week 2 on NBC. And then at 40, also Summer Olympics, Sunday Prime Week 2 on NBC. Now we go to 41. Division rivalry game that turned out to be the NFC Championship. But this is in the regular season. Philadelphia and Washington. Always going to be eyes on that. Monday Night Football returns at number 40, Kansas City versus New Orleans. The Chiefs, not much to say. They're always going to get views. Then we have the Sunday Night Football weather delay at 39. That was when the Cowboys and the Steelers were playing Sunday night. They got delayed due to lightning in the area. 38, we have NFL on Fox bonus. Not really sure what that is. 37, we got Buffalo and Miami on Thursday Night Football. Big division rivalry. You got Allen and the Bills competing for Super Bowls every year. And then you have Tua and the Dolphins. Like I said earlier, they had a bit of a disappointing season, but two of the top teams in the AFC. And we got the Dolphins again, this time on Monday Night Football. Hosted the Tennessee Titans. Not much to say there. Summer Olympics back at 35, Monday Prime Week 2. Scooting up to another big football game, the LA Chargers and the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday Night Football. Justin Herbert going up against Joe Burrow, battle of two young quarterbacks. Two playoff teams. Oh, Chargers were, Bengals weren't, but two of the better teams in the AFC. Summer Olympics back at 33, Sunday Prime Week 1. Then primetime football again, Cincinnati Bengals at the New York Giants. I'm a diehard New York Giants fan, sucks for me, but of course, Burrow, Chase, and the crew were able to come into MetLife and put a beating on us. Burrow, of course, made a nice run for a touchdown in that game. Couple Summer Olympics again. 31, the opening ceremony. There was a lot of controversy around that, but it was 31st. Then we scoot on to number 30, Summer Olympics, Thursday primetime Week 1. Scoot on up to Sunday Night Football again. Minnesota Vikings and the Indianapolis Colts. That's a pretty good game. Justin Jefferson always gets views. My favorite game of the last World Series, Game 4, the only game the Yankees were able to win. Should have won more, but that comes in at number 28. Of course, big grand slam by Anthony Volpe in that game. Started by the American League Rookie of the Year, Luis Gil. One of my teams again, we go to Thursday Night Football, Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants. Dak and the crew were able to come into MetLife and beat the Giants. Shocker, shocker. Then we go to Sunday Night Football again. We have the Eagles and the Rams. Big game by former Giant, Saquon Barkley. Watching that game live, he's just really tough decision by the Giants to let him go. Then we got Sunday Night Football again, Houston and Detroit. Detroit, obviously, they disappointed come January, but they were incredible this year. Houston, another team, another top team in the league, so big battle there. Then we got Pittsburgh and the Jets. Rodgers and Adams have been making, I believe that was Adams' first game as a Jet. So already a lot of views there. And then Steelers are the Steelers, no matter how good or bad they are. Always going to get views, one of the more popular teams in the league. Scoot on up to the CFP, Washington versus Texas. That was a game Washington was able to win. I never really got into college football until this last playoffs. I just saw Ohio State beat Notre Dame in the finals, so maybe I'll get more into that. Summer Olympics are back at number 22. Tuesday prime, week 1. Sunday Night Football. We talked about it earlier. This is the game that had the weather delay. The Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Two of the biggest teams in football. Always going to get eyes on that product. Surprised this is as high as it is. The Texans and the Bears, Sunday Night Football, is number 20. I mean, they're not two of the higher teams in the league. Then you got one of the biggest nights in music coming up again this Sunday, but this is for last year. The Grammy Awards. Always going to get big eyeballs on that product. That comes in at 19. 18, tough game for me. The Dodgers and the Yankees, Game 5 of the World Series. Game, the Yankees were up 5-0 and in the 5th. I remember feeling so confident we were going to win, and then we just fell apart. Of course, the drop fly ball by Judge, the bad throw from Volpe to Chisholm at third, and then Cole and Rizzo having a miscommunication. Dodgers went on to tie the game that inning and then won in the 8th inning with a sac fly by Mookie Betts. Never going to forget that. And we go the wild card game, the Eagles and the Bucks. Eagles collapsed in that game. Collapsed at the end of the season and then ended up losing in Tampa, but okay for them. They got Saquon, and now they're in the Super Bowl. Number 16, we got Summer Olympics again, Sunday prime, week 1. Number 15, I'm surprised this is only 15. Baltimore-Buffalo, big AFC rivalry. Two of the best teams in football. They battled in Baltimore, win by the Ravens. Two teams winded up meeting each other again come the AFC divisional round. That was won by the Bills. Number 14, big rivalry here, Detroit-LA. Of course, the trade between sending Jared Goff from LA to Detroit and Stafford from Detroit to LA. Stafford was able to win a Super Bowl with the Rams. Goff has been pretty damn good with Detroit. When those two match up, always going to be eyeballs on that. Next, we have the Oscars. Big night in film. A lot of big film stars there. You're always going to see interest in that. Presidential debate between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Obviously big, so always going to be eyes on that product. People watch that, see the issues, see the candidates discuss the issues that they're worried about, and then decide who they're going to go to the ballot box for. Sunday Night Football, Buffalo and San Francisco. One of the best teams in the AFC, and a team that's supposed to be one of the best teams in the NFC. A marquee matchup like that in primetime, always going to get views. Buffalo-Miami back again for Sunday Night Football. They're on this list twice. This was the game. Both of them are battling for the AFC East crown. That game winded up to be won by Buffalo in Miami. Sunday Night Football again. San Francisco, Dallas. Two of the bigger teams in the NFL, as we mentioned with Pittsburgh and Dallas. Always going to be lots of eyeballs on that. Sunday Night Football, Kansas City, Atlanta. Mahomes and the Chiefs went down to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Took care of business. Thanksgiving night, Green Bay and Miami. Obviously, Thanksgiving night at Lambeau. Obviously, big game. A lot of people excited about that. Going to keep their eyeballs on that. Thursday night special, Kansas City, Baltimore. I mean, not much to say there. This is the opening game of the year. Chiefs coming off the two-peat. Now they're looking for the three-peat. This is the game where the Ravens player late in the games landed out of bounds narrowly, and the Chiefs won. The playoffs between the Lions and the Rams. Lions won that. Obviously big because of what we mentioned earlier, the storyline, Stafford and Goff. That game was in Ford Field in Detroit. Lions went on to lose in the NFC Championship game. We're going to be talking about that soon. Playoffs, San Francisco, Green Bay. Another big NFL playoff football is always going to get big views, so got one. And you got the divisional playoffs, KC Buffalo. That was some game. Game the Chiefs were able to go into Buffalo and win by the skin of the hairs. NFC Championship comes in at number 2, San Francisco, Detroit. We just mentioned that. Game won by the 49ers in San Francisco. And then, surprise, surprise, number 1 is the Super Bowl. Chiefs and the 49ers last year. Mahomes against that stacked 49er team. Obviously, Mahomes won that last year. The overtime touchdown by Travis Kelce with 3 seconds remaining. Taylor Swift, obviously, always a big target there. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Hope maybe you got your eyes on some of these big events. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time on the VD Sports Network.